Welcome back to Senior Honcho with another Let's Code Minecraft mod episode. So last time we actually created an item, we got it in, but it was kind of ugly. It was just kind of purple black box kind of thing. So what we want to do this time is we want to get an icon added to the item, and we want to get it a name. So we'll see if we can get that done in one episode here. So without further ado, let's see where we're at. So I've got a couple things open here in basic items. This is just from a Google search on adding an item to a mod. And so now we're just looking to see what do we need in order to get things so that um, our recipe, I could have tried creating the recipe. I didn't check my recipe, so let's start with that. So I did create a recipe here. We're actually creating one. So let's do this. Let's fire up an instance of Minecraft. Let's see if our recipe works. I'm not quite sure it will. While that's coming up, I'm going to keep reading here and see if I can't get ahead of the game a little bit. Um, right. So one of the things here, I'll slide this over while that's loading. So I found where we're going to name it, and we'll give that item generic name dot name equals blah. Icons and texture. So yeah, this is going to have all the information we need to get that stuff set up. So this is where we're gonna get into setting up our proxy and stuff like that. Okay, so that noise is our lovely Minecraft started up. Okay, single player. This time I don't want to be in a creative world, so I'm gonna create a new world. This one's gonna be survival. I'm gonna make sure cheats are on so that I can do some debugging stuff. And we'll hit done. And let's call this one test. Okay. Wait for it to load up. This one, the other world already initialized, so this one will have to initialize. Now, these worlds that are being created are actually going into your app data .minecraft. Let's see, what is it? App data roaming .minecraft something or other in worlds, but it's all in your .minecraft folder when you find it out there in app data roaming. So if you want to like save the worlds or wipe them out, you can just wipe out that stuff out there. You should also be doing, because sometimes when you're programming mod, you'll get into something that actually is really bad and causes an issue. So, all right. So this is survival. So we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to go grab some wood here. So I do have to play a little bit in order to get a something. To get a something. That's technical for whatchamacallit. Okay, so just grab some wood here. Come on. And just create a quick workbench. Okay, so yeah, we got that. Right. Let's see if my cheats are actually working. Give player 110. I need cobblestone. Cobblestone. Oh no, why don't I just give myself glass? Yeah. Glass. And let's give myself 8. There we go. Works. Awesome. So now to test our recipe, we said we want to go here, here, and cross your fingers. Look, there it is. There's our item. And we're able to pull it out and put it in our inventory. Great. So our recipe's working. That's awesome. So now we can make that item not look so ugly. So let's quit out of here. Ta-da. Okay. So now that we have that, let's start with this. Okay, so we're kind of looking through here and we're seeing, okay, what do they have in here that we're missing? So we need our cited proxy. And so there's two things that they're creating here. So they, in these examples, they're creating generic mod, right? So they have generic client and then just in generic common proxy. So client proxy is going in the client package, and generic is within the generic. They're doing a common proxy there. So we're gonna set up kind of the same thing. And so let's just do that first. And I figured this is where we were gonna need that anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and split these up since they're a bit different. Oh, there's that. No, not that. I really should turn my light on so I can see my keyboard when I need to. Okay, there we go. So we do at cited, type it a little bit, control space. It knows it's cited proxy, takes care of it for me. Then client side, we're going to do, we want, this is actually com.example, and we're going to have to refactor this. Terraria mod.client, like so. Let's do that now. Well, let's wait. So you don't want to refactor under red. So I still have a red here, so I don't want to do that. Client proxy, and then my next parameter is then the server side to go with client side, server side. Oops, this is supposed to be a capital S. That's why it doesn't like me. That should clear that. Okay, server side equals com.example dot Terraria mod dot common proxy. Okay, so that's good there. And then this actually sits over a public static common really? Oh, is that what the name of the class is supposed to be, is common proxy? Is that why I'm not getting it? Oh, yeah, sure is. Okay, so we're just going to do common proxy. It's not going to know what to do with that. And proxy. Ah, that means I'm going to have to remember. Create class common proxy. Yeah, it's going to go in here. That's supposed to come from something. So let's take a look and see. Generic item class. Proxy. I don't think it mentions proxy in this. So since it's not going to tell me about the proxy in this one, I've got another one over here for crafting and smelting. I don't think this one tells me about proxy either. No, this is for crafting. So we already got the recipe in, so we're good there. Basic items, basic blocks, crafting, smelting. Server, string containing the full qualified name of the class to load for the server. Yeah, but it's going to be a proxy. It's going to extend from something. I'm going to search this wiki for proxy. Let's see what happens here. It's thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. Come on, internet, you're killing me. Oh. Huh? Okay, so let's see. What did we get? how to use infinite terrain, how to use OR dictionary, basic modding. Did I miss it in basic modding? Wasn't I in basic modding? The mod class, yes. Base mod annotations, which includes cited proxy. Finished. What's next? I don't see the reference that it was saying. Oh, cited proxy. Well, they have it in there. They didn't define it below. Jerks. Poop. Okay. Let's try a Google search for Minecraft proxy. Let's see what we get from that. How to proxy I can play through a proxy server. Minecraft proxy. No. Proxy. Minecraft mod example proxy. Proxies. Let's try this. This looks like we might be on the right track. Oh. So that's the main mod class. Here's the common proxy. Oh, it doesn't extend from anything. Okay, it's the client one that extends. Okay, so okay, good. Slide to the left, and so this is just a straight up object. We'll finish that one. So back to that. So now that's our common proxy. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add a new package here. Actually, we're just going to say new class here. We give it the package of client and just call this client proxy. And then browse. We're going to extend this from common proxy like so. And I think that's all we need to do with that one. Yeah, that's all we need to do with that right now. Groovy, man. Alright, so now we can go back to, if we go back to our main mod, we shouldn't have any errors there now. So we've got the cited proxy. So if we go back to our basic items tutorial page, and did we miss something? Oh, public name, icon. Here's the generic class. Okay, so we did the cited. We got the item, new item, and then the item class itself. So when we initialize it, we can set some parameters about it. So unlocalized name. Okay, so yeah, so we can add it to a tab, and we can give it a stack size, and we can give it an organized name. So let's go ahead. We'll give it. Do we want to do? We'll start with a regular stack size. So we go into our glass bowl class, which extends item, and we give it a constructor. I think I can say constructor. Look at that, it gives me a constructor. Wow, it did not indent worth a crap though. Okay. Well, usually I turn these stupid comments off. Shift and delete. And in this constructor then I can say, okay, your max size is equal to 64. And we can set the creative tab. Let's go ahead and do creative tabs dot brewing, decorations, food maybe. Yeah, we could give it the same parameters as wooden bowl. We could actually extend it from wooden bowl. Yeah, add that there. That way it will have the same properties as a wooden bowl, which means you could probably make a mushroom stew in a glass bowl. So that might be something interesting to do. So this one, I'm going to try and see if this is where I want the actual game name to be. I think that is where we put that as the unlocalized name. Let's try this, and then we'll try making this extend from wooden bowl and see if we can put a mushroom stew in it. So let's try this. We'll check. I don't see any error marks anywhere. I think we're good. Go ahead and run it. Oh, I see. They're actually... So one of the interesting things, I'll slide this over here so it's just there when we're ready. So one of the things we're talking about is using a lang file for the name. This is a 1.8 Daily Bob. So we could actually do that, and then where does it reference that name? That's funny because they don't actually reference that in here. Unlocalized name. Oh, generic item comes from... Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, so this probably is not going to work, actually, the way I want it to. So let's go back to... We can go to New World now. Because we have already tested the recipe, we know the recipe works. I actually could have tested that in the creative world before as well. So that would have been interesting. You know, lots of people joining the room. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining, following along as I struggle through creating a mod. Alright, back to game. Alright, so it recognizes that it's now glassbowl.name. So it's not finding it in a localized file. We don't have a graphic for it yet, but we should find it in, where's our food tab? Food tab here, there it is. Item.glassbowl.name. So I know exactly what's going on now. So let's see, and then we should get a stack size. Let's see, that's not stack. Oh, go away. No, how do I get a full stack here? A second. There we go, full stack, 64. So we know our stack size is working. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my options. I'm going to bring this down to peaceful. I don't want to get attacked while I'm in creative. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to turn my music volume. Actually, I'll turn all my volume down to about 50% for y'all, so you don't have to listen to the game. Okay, so with that, so what we're doing here is this unlocalized name is actually a reference to a property file. So I'm going to go ahead and call this lowercase glass bowl, which is what we named it in game as the item name. Which I'm actually going to change this around a little bit because now I've got this string used twice. And it really does belong with the item. So what I'm going to do is from here, right now I've got this name here, and I have it there. So I'm going to refactor this a little bit, and I'm going to call this in here before my constructor, I'm going to say public static final, and this is item name. Oh, item name, and that's going to be equal to glass bowl. Now I could have done this automatically too, which I guess would have been a better refactor, but okay. Public final static. I got it backwards. Final static. Okay. What? String. Forgot to tell what it was. It's a string. Oh, I'm much happier now. Thank you. See, now if I would have used the IDE for this, I could have saved myself the retyping, but I didn't. So now, here, what I'm going to do is replace this then with glass bowl dot item name. There. See, now if I want to change the name of that and I want to call it, you know, glass hemisphere or fruit bowl or something like that, I can change that name in one spot instead of all over in the code. So it's just a little bit cleaner. Okay, so now that I have that, what I want to do is in references, what's this? What you got here? Oh, I could have used this stuff for real. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think what I want to do is put in a en_us.lang file. I think this goes in references, so we're gonna try that. I'm sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. So here we're gonna do a new text file, new file, untitled text file, and we're just gonna type in item dot glass bowl dot name equals, and this will be glass bowl, like so. And and then when we go to save this, it's going to say, well, what do you want to name this bad boy, and where do you want to put it? So I'm going to put this bad boy into source main resources, and we're going to call this en_us.lang, like so. And I believe that should be what we need in order to get that thing called a glass bowl in the game. So let's try that out. Check that out. This is where I wish I could do a unit test instead of having to run the client every single time, because this is what I call my developer loop. Right? You make a small change, you test it. You make another small change, you test it. This is a lot easier if you have a unit test, because unit tests run really fast, and it shortens your developer loop from change to change to be a lot faster. So in this time, I'm waiting for the game to come up. You know, a unit test would have been done a long time ago, and I wouldn't have to leave the IDE in order to do all this stuff. However, and I haven't tried it in 1.8, I don't know if I could actually write a unit test that would test what I actually am testing. Yeah, see, it kinda did it, but not really. So you can see here, item glass bowl.name. So that's the correct item name that you can see from above in the IDE, but it didn't do the replacement. So that means I've got that in the wrong location. for the code to find it. So where is it looking for that? Huh. I think a chicken just laid an egg around me. I don't see it. So poop. That's unfortunate. So where do we put this reference? Oh, my dog. Dog keeps popping in, opening the door. So let's see. If I'm going to put that somewhere, where do I put it? And it's probably up here. Notice that the set name doesn't take human readable name. Yeah, it would say that. That's what we're getting right now. Definitely not what you want, right? To fix this, we need the language file. Oh, sorry. I'm reading off screen, so you can't see this. Source main resource assets. So this is the part I missed. Okay, so new package, enter assets dot generic mod dot lang for the name. Okay, and that would be because, and the reason for that is that should be a package match to, oh, what package is the mod file in? Tutorial generic. And the assets going into, so generic mod, which is the name of, okay, so assets generic mod dot lang for the name. And we'll create the English language file for a mod. Create new file, call it enuslang. Inside the files, okay. So what we need to do is we just need to refactor where we put this bad boy. So, oh, that dog. Let's see if that shuts her up. Refactor. We're gonna move it. Okay, it's gonna go, well, where are you gonna move it? And I'm gonna tell it, well, I'm gonna move it here under a new package. And under resources, we want the package assets dot Terraria mod. Spell that right. Dot lang. Okay. It's alright. It's alright. Okay. So now our lang file is in the right location. So let's test that and see if it actually finds it this time. Now, the interesting thing is that it said when you create your project, one of the packages you get should be source main resources assets, but we didn't get an assets directory when we created it. That may just be a discrepancy between the instruction. It is a wiki after all, and it's not like the Minecraft code is static, so it's got a lot of statics in it though. At least this seems to be loading faster the more times I do it, so my loop seems to be getting shorter, which is good. I'm okay with that. So we're looking for glass bowl when this thing comes up. Let's hope we get glass bowl. Let's see. Drum roll, please. Glass bowl. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an item name. Yay, us. Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for your support. I'm here all week. Tip your waitresses. Glass bowl. Hot diggity. Well, now we got to make this thing look better, right? So, on to the next step. So we're good here. We're going to move on to the next step, making this thing look like a glass bowl. So we're going to go to icons, textures. And I got to see, did I ever install GIMP? I did. Good. I like to use GIMP for my stuff, so we'll go through doing that too. Oh, actually, so before we get into this one, that's actually it for this episode. It took us 30 minutes to do that. So I'm going to wrap this episode. I'm going to say thank you very much. This has been Senior Honcho, and thanks a lot.